Here's the TACFIT Bravo workout. There are 4 exercises. Each exercise you're going to do for 4 minutes long. You'll have 60 seconds rest in between each move. First exercise we have is the Kettlebell Deadlift. This is the TACFIT style deadlift, which is a little bit more squatty than typical deadlift. Starting with your kettlebell in between your ankles, coming up on the kettlebell, you're going to hinge the hips back, keeping the belly pulled up and in, reaching down, clasping the kettlebell, coming into a little bit of a deeper squat. Extend, stand up, squeeze the glutes, lock the hips. Coming back down, tapping the kettlebell in between the feet each time. Using your power breath, exhaling on exertion. Sitting the butt back, you are not rounding the back is staying completely flat. Sitting the butt back, coming down, tapping the kettlebell, and up. You're going to be doing this for 4 minutes, so you want to find a pace that you can maintain. As you fatigue, you will drop the kettlebell, not using the kettlebell, just going into the form of the deadlift without the kettlebell, sitting the hips back, standing up, full extension in the hips. Next, we're going to have our parallel knee press, so coming up on the parallettes. When you're doing this, you're going to work on making sure that you have a straight line from knee to hip. So when I approach the parallettes, there is no bend in my hips here. You want to have your knees far enough back, tucking the hips, squeezing the glutes, straight line in the body. From here, elbows wrapping back to your sides, letting the shoulders round down and pressing up. So again, knees are back far enough, straight line from shoulders all the way to the knees, coming down and pressing up. Allowing the shoulders to come, so my back is rounded, my back is not flat, so my back is rounded and coming in and pressing out. Keeping the neck in neutral position, hips tucked, glutes squeezed, quads are on. So that is your parallel knee press. As you fatigue in that 4 minutes, your alternative is to come into a plank position and hold. Squeezing the glutes, keeping the abs tucked in tight, hands directly beneath the shoulders, legs extended. You will hold plank. As you start to recover, you'll come back to the parallettes, squeezing the glutes and press. Then we have our club bell gamma cast. Taking our club bell, we are going to start in center position, feet hip width apart, grounding through all 4 corners of your feet. Hips are tucked, abs pulled up and tight. Starting with center position, we'll go over to the side, switching forearms in the back position, driving the elbow down, bringing it back to center, switch sides. Over the shoulder, switch elbows, elbow drive down, back to the center, and then you will alternate. As you're doing this, you're keeping your abs locked down. You are not going into extension. From the side position, make sure that the club bell does not hit your back. Starting in the center, over to the side, over the shoulder, switch forearms, elbow drive down, back to center. Opposite side. Club bell passes over the ear, rotate, switch sides. So my body is staying in an upright position. I am not extending or arching back in the back position. The modification for this would be just to do shoulder cast. So right hand on top, going over the right shoulder, coming in side guard, reaching the club bell back and over, elbow drive down. You'll do this for 2 minutes, and then after 2 minutes, you'll switch sides, switch hand grips. From the side position, keeping the elbows wrapped in, club elbows over the shoulder, elbow drive down, bringing the club bell back into side guard. Keeping those ribs knitted in. And we have our club bell gamma cast. And then the final move that we have is going to be the leg thread. So starting with leg thread, you will be in hip thrust position, elbows are driving down, dropping the knee, bringing the foot in between. You will roll, coming up into hollow plank, Dropping knee to elbow, roll, hip thrust. Leg thread through, dropping the knee, dropping the hip, rolling, coming up into forearm plank. Bringing the knee to the elbow, dropping the hip, rolling, coming into hip thrust. Threading the leg through, and back. And you'll roll back and forth. The modification for this is going to be just to do the hip thrust and the knee to elbow. So the hip thrust would be hip thrust, dropping the knee, coming back up. Dropping the knee, preparing for the roll, coming back up. Until your body gets used to the movement, then you can drop the knee, rolling over to forearm plank. For forearm plank, you're gonna go knee to elbow, dropping the hip, coming back. Knee to elbow, drop the hip, come back. Keeping the abs pulled in tight. Keep practicing this until you feel the roll, then you're able to roll over, coming into hip thrust, elbow drive down. So, each move for 4 minutes. Work at a pace that you can maintain. 1 minute rest in between.